Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United plot bid to sign Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele's contract at Barcelona expires next month. He's been at Barcelona for quite a few years now. He's rated at 27 million. Ousmane Dembele is injury prone. He's endured quite a lot of injuries since he became a Barcelona player. Barcelona got Dembele from Borussia Dortmund back in 2017. Barcelona paid 105 million up front. It risen up to 135 million with add-ons. I thought Dembele was very good when he was at Dortmund, and before he was at Dortmund he played for Rennes. He's 24 years of age and he's predominantly a winger. Now I want to give you some news on Pau Torres. So Manchester United are set to pay Pau Torres 51 million release clause. Pau Torres plays for Villarreal. He's a centre-back. Manchester United need a world-class centre-half to go alongside Rafael Varane. Pau Torres is under contract with Villarreal until 2024. He's been at Villarreal for a lot of years. At one point he had a loan spell with Malaga. Pau Torres is the age of 25. So there you go. There's a lot of players that Erik ten Hag wants to recommend in to the club. Erik ten Hag's transfer budget has been revealed. Ten Hag is going to get 100 million. The Man United board have told Erik ten Hag to target 3 transfers after the transfer budget was revealed. On the other side of things, Erik ten Hag is going to offload a lot of players this summer, so reflecting on that, he will generate money. Like I updated you this morning, Erik ten Hag has ordered players in early for pre-season training. Not so long ago, Simon Stone from the BBC said that Erik ten Hag is expected to start work as the new Man United manager this month. The other month it got officially announced that Manchester United appointed Erik ten Hag as their new manager. Erik ten Hag will replace Ralf Rangnick. Erik ten Hag signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. Man United agreed the compensation with Ajax for Erik ten Hag. The compensation is below 2 million. Ten Hag is Manchester United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Mitchell van der Gaag is set to join Erik ten Hag at Man United. It's going to be good for Ten Hag to experience the Premier League. You know, he's not yet managed in the Premier League. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. You know, he's won Eredivisie titles with them. He's won some Dutch Cups with them. And revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. and he's developed the young players well. So there you go. Ten Hag got appointed in as the Ajax manager back in December 2017. His contract at Ajax was due to expire next year. Ten Hag is the former Utrecht, Bayern Munich reserves and Go Ahead Eagles manager. The four permanent managers Man United have sat since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then Manchester United had Louis van Gaal. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years. We did win the FA Cup under him. And then after that, Man United had Jose Mourinho. Man United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. So there you go. Ralf Rangnick, he has 1 game remaining in charge of Manchester United. Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for around 4 months or so now. Revert back to the other week, it got officially announced that Ralf Rangnick got appointed in as the new manager of Austria. Ralf Rangnick signed a 2-year deal, but Rangnick will still continue in a consultancy role at Man United until 2024. Ralf Rangnick enjoyed 1 transfer window as Man United's interim manager, and unfortunately he didn't get backed in this year's January transfer window. Before, Ralf Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Rangnick made changes, because revert back to earlier on this season, he recommended Ewan Sharpen as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Man United recently lost 4-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex Stadium. It was a very poor performance by Man United against Brighton, probably the worst performance I've seen this season. It was confirmed that it's been Man United's worst Premier League season. And reflecting on the loss to Brighton, Man United have lost 5 consecutive Premier League away games. But Man United have been playing catch-up for a long time. Man United have not been the same team since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, and we've got to accept that no one is going to replicate what Sir Alex Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. When he was the Man United manager, he won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Alex Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was the Man United manager for around 27 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Alex Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. The last time Manchester United won the Premier League was back in 2013. Man United have won 20 titles, 13 of them are Premier League titles. Man United have only won 4 trophies in the last 10 years or so. As things stand now, Man United have not won a trophy for around 5 years or so. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Recently, a lot of Manchester United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. I think they're will continue with the protesting until it forces the Glazers out of the club. We've got to get the Glazers out because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years now. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. The other week, it got announced that Matt Judge resigned. So reflecting on that, he said he will not play a role in the summer transfer window. Matt Judge was at Manchester United for around 8 years. There's a lot of players that Manchester United need to get rid of. So we need to get rid of Dean Henderson. You know, Henderson's our second choice keeper, don't really get in goal. He's only made 3 appearances this season. We need to definitely get rid of Tom Eaton. You know, Tom Eaton's our third choice keeper as a backup. Haven't had a great deal of a perception on Eaton. Heaton played in the pre-season games before the start of this season. To be fair, he did well. Man United got Heaton on a free transfer from Villa last year. Lee Grant, I also reckon that he's leaving the club. Lee Grant's our 4th choice keeper. We need to get rid of Wan-Bissaka this summer because he's not good enough. He's done well in a lot of games defensively for Man United, but the attacking side of his game is poor. And plus, Wan-Bissaka's not been our first choice right back under Rangnick. You know, Diego Dalot was. This season's been Wan-Bissaka's 3rd full season at Man United. Man United got him from Crystal Palace back in 2019 for 50 million. Do you think Diego Dalot will leave this year? He's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation before. To be fair to Dalot, though, he has had his good games at Man United, especially under Rangnick. Like I just mentioned, he's been our first choice right back under Rangnick. Last season, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience. Man United got Dalot from Porto. Man United paid around 19 million. Dalot's contract expires next year. Phil Jones and Eric Bailly, we need to get rid of them. I think they're leaving this summer anyway because they've already told their teammates that they intend on leaving the club. Jones and Bailly don't really get in the team. Harry Maguire, we definitely need to get rid of him. You know, he's not good enough to represent the club. Don't understand how he's still Man United captain. Throughout the course of this season, a lot of United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire. Maguire come back from injury not so long ago. He's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. The other week he received a bomb threat at his home, and reflecting on that he called the police. Man United paid 80 million for Harry Maguire. He's the most expensive centre half in the world at the moment, and he's the 2nd most expensive signing at the club. We also need to get rid of Victor Lindelof because he's not good enough, but I don't think he'll leave this year, but he could leave next year. Alex Telles, we need to get rid of him. I reckon this season is his last season at Man United. You know, Telles has endured a difficult few months. Telles, though, has appeared to be our first choice left back under Ralph Rangnick. Matic, yes, we know that he's leaving this summer because revert back to a few weeks ago. Matic announced he will be leaving Man United this summer despite having 12 months on his contract. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's still being given his opportunities. Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Matic has been at the club for over 4 years. We also need to get rid of Fred because he's not good enough. I don't think he'll leave this year, but Fred could leave next year. Fred come back from injury not so long ago. Man United got Fred quite a few years ago from Shakhtar Donetsk, got him in a deal worth £50 million. Scott McTominay, we need to get rid of him. He's not good enough. Again, don't think he'll leave this year. Do you think he could leave next year or the year after? You know, McTominay's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He's too inconsistent, like I say. He has had his good games at United, especially under Rangnick. Revert back to earlier on this season, I was saying that McTominay had been one of our best performers under Ralph Rangnick. Paul Pogba, yes, we need to get him out. He's leaving this summer by the looks of things. Pogba's out of contract this summer. Like updated you recently, Sky Sports said that Paul Pogba is likely to move abroad when his contract runs out. Real Madrid, Juventus and PSG are interested. Paul Pogba recently rejected a move to Man City. It did say that Man City consider signing Pogba on a free from Man United. It said City were willing to offer Paul Pogba a 4-year deal. Man City have done transfer business with Man United before. Revert back to a lot of years ago, Man City got Carlos Tevez from Man United. Earlier on this season, Rangnick confirmed that Pogba is unlikely to play for Man United again because he came off injured in the 4-0 defeat to Liverpool at Anfield. Pogba's endured quite a lot of injuries since he re-signed for the club, so he is injury prone. Jesse Lingard, we need to get rid of him. I expected him to leave this year. He said Jesse Lingard, though, he's resigned to leaving. Lingard's out of contract this summer. Lingard is a squad player because he doesn't really get in the team. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that. The second half of last season, he enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham. Martial, we need to get rid of him permanently this summer at the moment. Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. Edison Cavani, he's leaving this summer. He's on a free because he's out of contract this summer. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Juan Mata, he needs to leave as well this summer. Looks like he will be leaving this summer. He's out of contract soon, Mata. Mata's another squad player, doesn't really get in the team, but to be fair, he has started the last few games. Mata's been a long-serving player at Man United. He's been at Man United for 8 years, and he's had a good career at the club. Man United got Mata from Chelsea back in 2014, got him for 37.1 million, risen up to around 40 million with add-ons. And Cristiano Ronaldo, don't think he'll leave this summer, but I think he'll leave next year. You know, Ronaldo will want to play under Eric Ten Hag, and obviously Eric Ten Hag wants Cristiano Ronaldo to stay at Man United. And Cristiano Ronaldo's already said that he wants to stay. You know, do you think we should get rid of Marcus Rashford? Probably not this summer. See how he goes next season. If he's still out of form, then consider getting rid of him. You know, Rashford is a good player overall, but he's enjoyed a lot of poor games this season. For me, Rashford's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem. Earlier on this season, had a minor leg injury. Rashford's out with illness at the moment. Man United do want at least 60 million for Rashford. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.